Hey friends, Hattie here with Honeybee Stampers. I'm going live over on my Facebook page today. This live has not been announced ahead of time. I'm just kind of hopping on impromptu because I have a bin, not a bin, tons of bins of cards that I wanted to record a video for, and I just haven't had a chance to, and now I'm like trying to get all these things done before I go on vacation. So I wanted to get on and share with you these cards right here. And these cards are actually from the November Sweet and Simple card class. I know, shameful. November. So those of you who came to that card class, then you guys already have done these projects, and they're really pretty projects. And I wanted to do this video because I have some of these kits left over. So yesterday I actually went live on my YouTube page. I think I've done like 2 other YouTube lives. And it was cool. I mean, I can't see who's watching or anything like that. And I don't know how I would see who's commenting. So that's kind of interesting. I'll have to figure that out. But I went live there because then it just uploads directly to YouTube. Whereas when I go live on my Facebook page, then I download it to my computer, then I upload it to YouTube. It's a whole thing. So today I've decided to go live on Facebook so that I have this recording here. I'll probably share yesterday's video with you guys. Maybe I'll schedule it to go live on Sunday since I won't be here on Sunday to do our happy hour. So bear with me as I schedule that and figure that all out. But these cards right here are so beautiful. Some of the items that I'm going to show you have already sold out or have already retired, but some of the items I'm going to point out are actually still available, but they're retiring. And so I want you to make sure that you are paying attention to those. So if you got a little wish list going, that you can actually jot these things down. So these are the 6 cards that we're going to go over today, and I'm going to stamp as fast as I possibly can. I actually have a hair appointment next door at around 5 o'clock today, so I want to make sure I get these in. Okay, now before we jump into the cards, let me talk about the host code. So I've got a little bit of a different host code here. The month of April host code was this one. So thank you guys to everybody who ordered those. Now, there are some of you who ordered at the beginning of the month and used this. I'm going to be reaching out to you today, and I'm going to tell you why. Because some of you qualified for our April special that I'm offering, and so I'm going to make sure that you know about it so that you can actually choose your freebies. And typically if I'm running a special, I won't go back, and see who ordered in the past and offer this to them. But for this special for April, I am going to do that because I appreciate your orders and the special is really good. And so I wanted to offer that to you guys. So now here's the new host code. Now this host code is for anybody who wants to place an order of $75 or more on my online store and choose from one of these cool packs of products. So I've done a video on this already, so I'm just going to kind of flash them up here really fast. So Punch Party, Wonderful World. See, there's 5 different ones to choose from. In Your Words, A Touch of Ink, and then Berry Blessings. So these packs are going to include a celebration stamp set, typically a $100 level celebration stamp set, or a $300 host set. It's going to come with a half a pack of paper, an embellishment, and then some coordinating ribbon. So you've got about 6 yards of coordinating ribbon. So if you place an order using this host code here, $75, for every $75, you can email me and say, hey, I'd like one of your Berry Blessings and I'd love one of your A Touch of Ink. And then I will put these in the mail to you for free. The other thing you'll also get is some hand-stamped cards. You'll also get a pack of 5 hand-stamped cards as a thank you. So awesome special that I'm running right now through the end of April. So grab those retiring items and be sure you do that so you can get some extra freebies from me. Okay, so now these cards that I'm going to show you today, I actually have a few of these kits left over. So this is how I package up the kits, and then once I've done this video, I will upload it to YouTube, and then I'll grab that QR code and I'll include it with this pack of cards, and so that when you get it in the mail, you can just scan the QR code and come back to this video to give you some inspiration and show you how to put these particular cards together. So, and I'll also label them, of course, but I've got a few of these left. They're only $28 to have them shipped. That includes shipping to you, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to be able to create cards these cards, even if you don't have the product that I'm showing. So that's just such a great perk for somebody who's wanting to just create some cards, right? And they don't want to have to go and cut and prep and do all the things. I've done it all for you. So let's start with this one, because this one's a really easy one. I really showcase the paper here. This paper is discontinued now, but it was some really pretty paper. The stamp set though, this one here is called So Sincere. I'm using this one right here. Knowing you brings joy to my heart. That sentiment is awesome. This is carrying over, so you don't have to worry about rushing to try to order that, because you'll have it. So your kit will come like this with all these little pieces, and we'll just fold this in half. And then I've already cut this down for you. I feel like this could be trimmed just a little bit more. I might do that. And then you're going to have this little label here that I'm going to stamp on. So you're going to want to use an embossing buddy. Sometimes I use an embossing buddy, sometimes I don't. I've been hearing a lot from people that they struggle with embossing, like heat embossing, which makes me so sad because it's one of my favorite techniques. So let me see if I can give some tips for anybody who's on the struggle bus with this. So if you do struggle, I would recommend using the embossing buddy for sure to kind of get the static cling out of there. And then you're going to use your Versamark ink, and I just ink it up. You want it to be nice and juicy, and make sure that it's completely covered, covering all of your sentiment here. And then I'm going to grab some embossing powder, and I'm going to open it up and have it ready to go, because I want to dip it as soon as I get done stamping. You don't want to wait for too long after you've stamped to put some embossing powder on there. Now what I found is if I push too hard with my stamp, I don't know, it just kind of like pushes the Versamark. I can't even explain what it does, but what it doesn't do is allow you to pick up a lot of the embossing powder. So you'll see here that I've picked up all that embossing powder right there, and it's exactly where I want it to be. And so what I'll do next is heat emboss it. Now, if you're creating like a bunch of these, you can actually stamp and dip into your embossing powder and then set this to the side and heat emboss later. Just don't do the first step where you stamp and then you wait to dip it in the embossing powder, because you don't want it to dry out. So hold on one second while I heat this up. Okay, so you'll know it's all heated up when it's nice and shiny and raised, okay? If it looks kind of a dull, if it has a dull look to it, that means that you probably overheated it. So now, I do want to shave just a little bit of this paper down. So when you get kits from me, if you get it and you're like, oh, I feel like this could be cut down a little bit, feel free to do that. I mean, it's completely whatever you want to do. I'm just going to shave just a tiny bit off. Oh goodness, I didn't do it far enough. So we'll just trim off these little pieces with my scissors here. It was too close to the edge, so it made it kind of bend and fray. All right, there. That should be good. And then this is, I think this is copper clay cardstock. I don't know why it still seems like it's not a very good border on there, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and add this on. And then I'm just going to layer it right onto this copper clay cardstock, making sure that there's a little bit of border around the DSP there. And then I'm going to lay this right over my card. And you're going to have just the smallest little bit of border around this as well. There. I really wanted to show off the designer series paper as much as possible. So this piece right here is going to go on with some Stampin' Dimensional so we can give it some height. You just pull the backing off. And then we'll place this on the card. I'm going to line it up right there with the top of that DSP. Okay, this right here is the jute twine that we carry, and I believe this is carrying over. This is in all of the new in colors from last year, so this is going to be copper clay. You're going to have moody mauve and boho blue, pebbled path, and wild wheat in these, and I'm pretty sure all of these little spools are carrying over, so that's great. Here. And then what I'm going to do is take this little heart. So this paper is not carrying over. This is kind of like a corrugated paper. It's in blue. Let me see the name of it. It looked like this, if you guys remember. It's textured 12 by 12 shimmer paper. And I believe this is retiring, and I don't know if it's still available or not. What I'll do is I will grab screenshots of the items that I use that are retiring so that you can kind of see them, because a lot of them are also on sale, so that's awesome. Okay, let's add a little glue dot on here somewhere. We're just going to add a little glue dot to this. Okay, and then we're going to add the heart over the top of it, just like that. And then we need another little glue dot on the back side. Did you guys follow me on that? I think you probably did. Now, did I do glue dot or dimensional? Oh, it looks like I used a dimensional. So let's grab a dimensional, and we'll just stick that right over the top there. Okay. And then we can put the dimensional right on the card here. There we go. And there's our card. Isn't that simple and so cute? So now let me point out, if you were to get this kit from me, you would get all those pieces, and then if you don't have that sentiment, you just use whatever sentiment you have. So easy peasy. Let's set that to the side, and we'll move on to our next project. But this one's probably my favorite one. I say that a lot, but this one really is. So this one featured some, oh my goodness, this paper was gorgeous. What was it called? Well, I can't remember what it was called, but it sold out so many times. But it was during the fall holiday catalog. So when you get your kit, it's going to look like this. You're going to take your card and fold it in half. I know some people will message me and say, hey, like, you're not giving any measurements when you're doing your cards. So there are some videos where I do give step-by-step measurements, and then there's some videos where I'm just doing the video tutorial, because if you got the kit through the mail, you'd have all the pieces already cut for you, so you wouldn't need those measurements. Or if you did get it through the mail and you wanted to duplicate this particular layout, just measure it, and then you'll have it, and you'll have this as a template good to go. Okay, so you're going to get 3 pieces of Very Vanilla. You're going to get one large one. This is going to go on the inside of the card, and then you're going to get 2 of them that are, there's one that's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So you want to start with you want to stamp on the smaller one. So let's bring that out. Now this stamp set that is featured here is part of the translucent florals, which is absolutely gorgeous stamp set. It is carrying over, so no need to worry or rush and grab this stamp set, because you'll have an opportunity to get it later. We're going to use some Moody Mauve ink and ink this up. This is a distinctive stamp set, and so it really has all of these different shades of the color with just one stamp. So we're going to stamp it right here. Okay. There we go, and that should lighten up a little bit. I forgot to grab the sentiment out of here, but we're going to stamp congratulations. Just use this block. And also, it's going to be in the Moody Mauve. Okay. And I stamped that flower a little bit. Oh, that worked out perfectly. I felt like I had stamped that flower a little bit too far this way. So there's that. And then we're going to add some splatter. And what I use for the splatter, you could use Moody Mauve, but I found that the copper clay was really pretty and pulls out the copper that's in the designer series paper. So look at that paper. When you get these kits, you're going to get the Moody Mauve paper, but it might be a different pattern of the copper foil. So, but it's all still looks great. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Right marker and I'm just going to flick. Isn't that great? It just adds that extra little splash of color to your card, so it's just not like that stark, very vanilla. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's start assembling. So this was the one piece that goes on the inside of your card, and I also will give you one of these little pieces, which is just something I had cut off of here, that you can put on the inside of your card, maybe across the bottom. So let's add some adhesive here. And I like to put a little border there. And then we'll add this to the inside of the card. Perfect. We'll add this layer next, which is the designer series paper. That was some of the prettiest designer series paper they've ever come out with. I really hope they try to top it for the next holiday catalog because it was so pretty. All right, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so now these two layers, we're just going to add them together. Believe it or not, this little addition of the layer behind it that's just 1/8 of an inch bigger actually really adds to the card. I don't know, it just makes it, if I can do this and talk at the same time, it just adds an extra element of classiness to me, okay, versus it just being by itself. So you'll see that little tiny border there. Now here is some ribbon. I can't remember if this ribbon is retiring or carrying over or sold out. I can't remember. Sorry guys. I'll make sure I post. If you see it as a ribbon that's that I post, it means that it's retiring, but you can still get it. Okay, so just look out for that post. Now I'm just fraying the ends here by pulling those little pieces out. Okay. And then I'll cut off this little excess that's right there. Same on the side there. Okay. I think this will hold if I use some of that adhesive there. And I'm just going to place it on my card like this. Trim this up a little bit. Oopsie. There, I think it'll hold. And then we're going to place this on the center of the card using Stampin' Dimensionals. Add one right in the middle there. Okay. I love this new remove the backing technique that I've started doing. Saw another demonstrator do it and I thought that is brilliant and it's really fast. Okay, and then we'll put this on the card, just kind of centering it on the card. There you go. Isn't that so pretty, you guys? It's so simple, but it's stunning. I love it. You're going to get some embellishments in this kit. Now, these embellishments I know are retiring, so I don't know where they went. I did see them earlier. I don't know, they've disappeared on me, but they're basically these little copper embellishments here. So you'll get those in your kit. Just be sure to add them to your card. And there's that card. I think the embellishments really add to the card too. So make sure you check it out. These dots are like I think they're called metallic dots, and they are retiring. Don't think they've sold out. Okay, next card. Let's do this card next. We'll do all the easy ones. So I cannot even remember where I got the stocking, where I got these from. I can't remember. It must have been in the holiday catalog somewhere. But I know that the sentiment here Let me find this card. Where is it? The stamp set, I mean. I know the sentiment is from Marius Trees. And Marius Trees stamp set is carrying over, which is great, 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 great. So we're going to use this sentiment on here. We are going to, these are the geometric patterns embossing folders. They come together like this. These are retiring, and they're on sale for like $5 or something, super cheap. So what I did for this was I took these strips of cardstock and I actually dry embossed each strip with each of these different patterns that are on here separately, okay? And that's how we came up with these. Isn't that fun? So that's a really great way to utilize that. And then the other thing that I used on here are the Stitched with Whimsy dies. These dies are awesome. You can see these in the background here. It's just got a little bit of stitching, like you took a sewing machine or something to it, and it adds to the card so much. These are on sale, and I want to say they're like half off. So I can't remember, but just go and check. I did see that they're still available, so don't miss that. All right, let's get started with this card. So we're going to be using some Poppy Parade on this card. You're going to dump out all of your contents, and that's going to be what it looks like. So we're going to add this on here to the front, and then, well, we'll just go ahead and layer that way. So let's add some adhesive. I really love Stitched with Whimsy, and I wish it wasn't going away because, gosh, it's just so pretty, isn't it? Can you guys see that? I think it's just gorgeous. Okay, so now we're going to add this. I'm going to put this one, oops, looks like I did this one first. So let's add this piece on first. And I just kind of put it at an angle there. Nothing too serious. And then we'll do this layer next. This is actually soft sea foam. Isn't that interesting color combination? We got soft sea foam. We've got Poppy Parade. And then this is Petal Pink right here. So we'll do, I should have angled that soft sea foam a little bit, but that's okay. We'll put this one right across the center. There. If I were to do it again, I'd angle this one up just a smudge, okay? So then we're going to take these pieces. Again, I cannot remember for the life of me where this die came from. If you guys know, a lot of times you viewers do know, let me know in the comment section. Okay, let's see. We're just going to place this on the stocking. Isn't that cute? And then we've got these two. Now, I will tell you, I am able to use the photopolymer stamps to stamp on a die cut image after I've die cut it. A lot of times I will prefer to stamp and then die cut so that, I don't know, so it just makes it easier in a way. But if when you're doing things like this, or for instance, I was creating my incentive trip swaps and I needed to die cut a bunch of stuff, I die cut it all first and then I stamped on it. I don't know, I was able to eyeball it and make it work instead of going in and having to line it all up, the stamped image, and then using washi tape to hold it in place. Okay, so basically what you're going to do with this is just kind of hover over and stamp right on it. Okay, so you're going to have a little bit more detail. So this is color on color, so it's not really that big of a deal, but you'll really notice the difference with the leaves, with these little holly leaves. So here's the one where I stamped on it. Here's the one that's just plain. So you could leave it plain if you wanted to, or you can stamp on it. Okay, so we'll ink this one up in our garden green. Okay, now I can't see because of all the lighting and where my phone is. Let me get a little bit closer here. I really can't see it. I was doing all that bragging about being able to see. There we go, that's better. You might need like a contrast or something. Oops, I moved it. Anyways, it works. Okay, so you can see that it's pretty easy to do. But if you don't have these stamps, which I can't even remember where these stamps came from. I can't remember. Then you can just leave the holly berry as is. Okay, where did the red one go? Where'd the red berries go? Oh, they're still on. They're still on the foam mat. Okay. Now what we'll do is we're going to cover that little loop up, and I'm just going to put this on with a dimensional, or no, with a glue dot. So let me grab. I like using my take your pick tool to pull it off of the glue dot roll so that it doesn't tear the paper. Sometimes when I use my fingers to try to pull it off, it will tear. And then we're going to put these little berries on same way. So I'll stick it on the glue dot there and then pull it off with my take your pick tool. And then we'll just stick it right there. Okay, there's our stocking. So cute. Okay, we're gonna put it right there. And let's go ahead and pop this guy up with some dimensionals. Okay, in here, and do one up here. I don't trust that I pulled them off, so I keep feeling for it. Okay, so then there is that there. All right, now we've got to do our sentiment, and it looks like I don't have a little strip for the sentiment. I don't know where I put it, at least. So let me grab some scrap paper for that. Hold on one second. I need to make sure that you guys don't have any questions for me. Okay, there we go. Let's grab some scrap. Okay, so I'm going to use the Poppy Parade for this, and then that sentiment again from Merriest Trees. Just like that, and then I'll have to use my paper trimmer to trim this on up. I'll make sure that the kits to go have a little scrap for you to stamp on. That side, this side, and then I'm going to trim it top and bottom as well. I love our paper trimmer. It is just so easy to work with. Okay, this one. Ooh, I cut that one kind of close, but that's okay. It still looks good. There we go. And we'll add this on with a little bit of adhesive on one side. And a dimensional over here. Let's do two dimensionals. Support that little middle part. Okay, and I'm going to place it right there. Okay, there's the card. We just need some embellishments. We'll use these, the trio embellishments. They're carrying over, so you don't have to worry about rushing to order these as well. I'm hoping to continue to inspire you guys this last week with the catalog so that you don't miss all the great deals that are going on with these retiring specials. Right, so we'll put one on the pink right there. There we go. You will also get one of these little pieces of twine that you can put on your card, and that'll be already tied for you in your card kit. So there is our next card. And we're trucking right along. Let's grab card number, I think this is card number 4. We'll do this one next. Okay, so this one features the Magical Meadow, and I can't remember if this one's carrying over or not. I can't remember. So I'll have to look that up. But here will be all your pieces here. Let's fold this one in half. You're going to have a little piece of white. that you're going to stamp your sentiment on. So we're going to use some Blueberry Bushel and this great sentiment here. Blueberry Bushel is such a fun color. I love blue, and I really love this shade. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stamp closer to the right side, right bottom piece of this cardstock, like that. Oh, you know what I'm realizing? So silly. This is actually, you're going to have this scrap piece for your stamping of that. This is what you're going to stamp your sentiment on. So replay, let's do that again. Let's ink this up and stamp towards the right. I was kind of wondering why I had cut that in that weird shape, but there's that. Now we're going to take this scrap paper that I stamped on earlier and stamp our little blueberries. I'm assuming these are blueberries. I don't know what they are actually. Maybe they're just a flower. They look like blueberries. And we're going to stamp it right there, okay? And then you're going to need to stamp this one in green. Now, I can't remember if I stamped off on this or not, but this is Garden Green. And I'm going to ink it up and stamp it this way. I might have stamped off on here, but I think it looks great, you know, full force, so I'm just going to leave it. So you would die cut these or fussy cut these out, and then you're going to also have this little vellum piece like this. I'm not going to die cut or fussy cut those out in this video because this is just the video tutorial, and you guys probably could figure that part out. So now let's adhere these pieces. I'm going to put my sentiment on first towards the bottom. Making sure that I have a pretty even border around the three sides, and then we'll add our designer series paper above it. I'm focusing on the three sides again as far as putting that down. So it's a little bit crooked there, but that's okay because you're going to get a strip of this pretty glimmer paper, and I believe this is retiring, but there's silver and gold, and it's great. So you're just going to place this over above the sentiment like that. And so if it didn't line up perfectly, it won't matter because you'll have that to cover it up. And we'll put this directly onto the card front. Aren't these colors together just so stunning? I love it. Okay, so once you've done that, then you would have these die cut or fussy cut out, and then you just add them to the side of your card there. And this is the end result here. And then we've got some gems. I know those gems are the silver gems from the Festive Pearls, and so those are retiring. You're going to want to grab those because those are great, 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 great gems. So let me set this card to the side, and we'll move on to card number 5. Okay, so I said earlier that this was my favorite card here. Okay, this one actually might be my favorite card. Isn't that so pretty? I know that the dies for this have sold out, but I'm sure we have wreath dies. We actually do have wreath dies that are over on the online exclusive that you can check out. But this is just such a pretty, pretty card. Now, the ribbon here is the black and very vanilla gingham. And this is carrying over as far as I know, but the black and white gingham is retiring. So it's nice to have both in your stash. So make sure you consider that if that hasn't sold out. I believe that this is on sale as well. This is and retiring. This is the maybe musical notes. I can't remember the name of it, but it is an embossing folder that is so fantastic, especially around the holidays. So we're going to actually apply this layer directly onto our card front. There we go. And then for these pieces right here, you may have some little pieces that haven't been popped all the way out. So that's a simple fix, or you could leave them. You could leave them in, it's completely up to you. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to adhere these two pieces together so that they're just off they're not lined up perfectly. So then you'll see a little bit of the lighter green kind of peeking through. If you wanted to do the lighter green, because one's old olive and one's mossy meadow. So if you wanted to do the lighter green on top, you could definitely, most definitely do that. Okay, I'm trying to think, do I want to try that? No, I really like the dark green on top, so let's do that. We'll put the dark green on top here, so I would adhere this with some glue dots. I would definitely use glue dots. And then you're going to use this right here. It's the Pearlized Enamel Effects, and I don't remember if this is retiring or not, but these are awesome. Let me just show you how cool these are. What I did was I created these little white berries on the wreath using this. So what you would actually want to do is heat emboss your sentiment. So let's do that. Again, we're gonna tap, tap, tap our embossing buddy. Then we're gonna take the Joy and Peace, beautiful sentiment here, and we're going to stamp it in our Versamark ink. And stamp, let me look at the, okay. Stamp on your black, like that. Forgot to have this open. And then you want to shimmy and shake this into your white embossing powder. So just like you do with any heat embossing, turn it over and flick off the excess. Sometimes I'll use my finger and do it that way. Okay, and then we would heat that up. So I'm not going to heat it up. I'm just going to go ahead and keep going, but you guys get it. It would essentially be heated up. Now what I did also with this is you're going to get this little strip here. This is cherry cobbler cardstock. You're going to add the cherry cobbler to the back here. And then you're going to get the piece, the ribbon, and you're just going to add this to the ribbon, I would say with Stampin' Glue Dot, and then add it to your card front. Okay, and then this right here, this is a cherry cobbler ribbon. I actually got this from our kits collection. So do you guys, I don't know if you remember the little advent calendar, so pretty. Anyways, I had so much of this ribbon left over. So that's what I used on the card, and I love the way that looks. So let me show you the enamel effects, okay? So we'll put another little, I'll have to finish this one later off camera. But what you'll do is you'll take this, and I'm gonna find one of the little berries, and I'm just gonna squeeze a little drop there onto that berry, and it'll flatten out when you let it dry, and it takes a minute to dry, so don't mess with it right away, but maybe you can see if my camera focuses. It's that one right there, but the rest of these are dry and they're a little bit flatter. So see if it'll focus. I don't think it will. Okay, well anyways, that's how you add those enamel effects, and look how pretty that is. So here's without the little berries, and then here's with it. And the enamel effects, so we've got the pearlized, and then we've got gold and silver, I believe, copper maybe even. So check those out because they're great to have if you don't have an embellishment and you want to add one to the card. You can definitely drop some little enamel effects places. Is that what they're called? Enamel effects? Yep. Places, and then it'll look great. So let's set that card to the side. I'll have to finish this one off camera. And then the very last card is this one here. So I will tell you the masks have sold out and retired already, but you know, you'll get all the pieces here, so you can use a different mask here, or you can use a stamp that you have. So that's, if you get the kit to go, that's my suggestion to you. So let's grab all the pieces. I will tell you that this really fun die right here comes from a die set that is a must. I love it, and it's retiring. It's called Labels Aglow. So if you don't have Labels Aglow, I believe it's half off. It's typically, I think $33 on sale for like, I don't know, $16 or something. It's such a great deal. But this right here, this one is worth the money, okay? These right here make some really interesting additions to cards too. It just kind of die cuts the hole so you can put something behind it, like a shiny silvery paper or something along those lines, and it'll show through where those holes are. So that's that. Okay, let me stamp and put this little piece together, and then I'm going to show you how the mask works. So this sentiment, you're in my heart and prayers, very beautiful. It's part of the So Sincere, same sentiment that I used earlier with this one down here. And we're going to stamp in Pecan Pie. Okay. There we go, right in the center, and I'm going to set that to the side and kind of let that dry because we're going to add a little flower behind it. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you'll see that I did a little light flower behind there. So let me fold this one, get this one out of the way. This is crushed curry cardstock. And then we've got Pecan Pie and then basic white. Okay, now for this one, let me find the masks here. I'm going to grab this mask that has the sunflowers on it, and I'm going to look for where there's a notch and a number. So this is number 1, and it's notched at the top there. So ideally, you would maybe put, to make your life easier, put a little washi tape down, and actually have some. Let me grab it. Oops. Okay. I'll just add a little washi tape right here to hold my cardstock down. And then you can use washi tape for this as well, and that'll keep it nice and secure for you so it doesn't move on you. And then we'll do, let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm going to kind of copy what I did earlier. Looks like I turned it a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to do washi tape here and then also down here. There you go. You can also just hold it, but I think that'll give you some peace of mind. So we're going to start with some crushed curry, and you're going to need your blending brushes. So we'll do this one, ink it up, and then I would tap over on the plastic because you can see how dark that is right there, right? Tap over here, get some of that color off, and then work your way over to your paper. And what I did was I kind of tried to concentrate in the center. I'm going to pick up some more of that ink there. Concentrate in the center and then brush out with the yellow. And you can make your flower as dark or as light as you'd like it to be. Do that. Okay. And we'll do the same on these 3. Oopsies. Gosh, do you see what I did there? I went too heavy-handed and didn't get enough of the ink off before I came over to it. Okay. There we go. Okay. Oops. All right, so there's our flowers. Isn't that pretty? And then what we'll do is we'll take, I'm going to reuse this washi tape over and over again. We'll take our little brown ones here. See, this is number 3, and I'm going to line this up. Try to at least. And I'll put my washi tape down again. Okay, now let me think here. How did I do this? You know what? I don't think I used this one last time. So I didn't use number 3. I actually went to the number 4. Oh, you know what? I think I did. Trying to remember what I did in November is like not easy. Okay. We'll put this on here and we'll just go ahead and color this one. Okay, now we're gonna take our brown, which I believe is this one, and Pecan Pie is the ink color that I'm using. And I'll ink that up, tap that off a little bit. And we'll do that. I made this kind of dark. Okay. I'm really loving the whole concept of masking. Okay, so I did use the other one. So there's the darker portion of it. Now what I did was I brought this one in. And so that it just wasn't that bright white right in the center there, I did color it. Okay, so take some of that color off there, and then I'm just going to kind of color it in like this so that it's not stark white. But I also didn't add any ink to my brush, so it's kind of leftover ink. There we go. Okay, that's coming together nicely. And then we've got one more. In the new catalog that's coming out, there is another stencil. The stencil that we have currently is carrying over, which is great. And then we've got one, let me wipe this ink off on my leg. And then we've got one that's coming out in the new catalog that's really pretty. Can't wait to play with it. All right, so now for the leaves, let me see, where did I put them? I guess here. You can't even see that one. So we'll just do these two. Okay. I don't know where my other washi tape went. That's okay. Let's do, not garden green. We're going to do old olive. If I can find, oh, here it is. So we'll use the old olive ink here. Again, same technique, tap off a little bit. And then ink it up. I love this, it's so pretty. I'll do this one even though you're not gonna see it. Oh, I totally forgot to tap off again. Oh well. There we go. Isn't that just so beautiful? I feel like I went really slow putting that together, and it really doesn't take that much time. But then you just peel that washi tape off, and here you go. Now, I'm gonna add this on now instead of over the both layers like I did here. So what I'm gonna do is just flip it over, and you grab a little bit of adhesive down here and right there. Okay. And then fold it over like this. And then we will put this right over onto our pecan pie layer. It's a little crooked. There we go. And then right onto our card base. Okay, it's coming together, y'all. Now, remember how I said I wanted to add a little bit to this? So let's find our template with the little flowers, sunflowers, and we'll take the little one here, and I'm gonna hold it down, hope it doesn't move under there. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of yellow. That's it. I didn't add any ink to that brush or anything like that, but you can see it just added that little flower to the back. And we'll add this to our deckled circle in crushed curry. Oh, you know what? I popped this up on the original card. That's okay. And then, so I'll pop up this part here. And then again, I will pop this up on the card. I'm going to put it right here on my card. Okay, you guys, I did it. I finally got this video tutorial done. And there's your card. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. I love it. So let's bring all the cards in again. I'm going to show you, this was the first one that we did. And then here was the second one. Our little stocking card where I can't remember where the stocking came from. These two, don't forget, I need to remember that I put a little extra right there. And then of course the sunflower card. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I do have extras of these kits left. So I've got a few of these left. They're only $28 if you're interested in them. I'll mail them to you. The $28 includes shipping, and you will have a chance to create some really pretty cards, you guys. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and don't forget the host code so that if you spend $75 or more in April, you'll get to choose from one of these amazing card kits that I have here. Check out that video because I actually open up and I show you the stamp set, and I show you all the paper and everything so it's not a mystery. You can see what you're picking. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye-bye.